the developer of the game replied as like, look, we tried, we really did. And they did. They absolutely did. These are not companies that are just being lazy when it comes to their marketing. That's not the reason why their games are necessarily not selling. Sometimes it just doesn't matter how much you market something, it can still fall flat on its face. That's true perhaps even of some of the biggest titles, whether it be in games or in other forms of media. People often ask me, what should you do to become successful on YouTube? My answer these days is that there is no answer to that. A lot of us became popular through a series of seemingly random events, a confluence of things which perhaps can't be replicated. Going viral, the concept of going viral, is really little more than a chaotic series of events and causation eventually leading to success. It's often not something you did. It's nothing that you had control over. You can make quality content and get ignored. So many people are. You can make terrible content and do really well. Again, some people do. This is only magnified when you ask people to pay you money for your title. That's going to limit your audience even further, as sad as it sounds. There is no right answer. Even if a game gets tons of coverage, that doesn't necessarily translate to sales. Even if a game does well in reviews, that doesn't necessarily translate to sales. Even if a game is mechanically solid and reasonably creative, such as Airscape, at least in my limited exposure to it, that doesn't necessarily translate to sales. This sounds very doom and gloom, I suppose. And in a way it kind of is. But I suppose it's about tempering expectations, for the most part. It's more difficult to do when you're dedicating your life to working on something which takes a lot of time to create. My advice to people getting into YouTube is don't go in expecting to make any money. Create the content because you're passionate about it. It's more difficult to give that advice to people that are dedicating years of their life to game development. It's a much harder job than doing the YouTube. It's something that you have to commit full time to doing in the vast majority of circumstances. And ultimately the world says, you gotta pay rent, son, you gotta pay taxes, you gotta pay for all of these things. You can't just mess around doing what you want to do. The ultimate dream is to go into business for yourself, create a passion project, and have it become